Peace, 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 fam. Peace, love, and light. You know the deal. If you can hear me and see me well, put a number 9 in the chat. Make sure that you are hitting the like button when you come in. You are welcome. All that come with good intentions. You are welcome. Let me clarify that. Andrew Berry, thank you. Thank you for the number 9. Welcome. All right. So we'll just give it a few more seconds. You guys know I don't wait too long before I start. So, yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed the little short live today. During our outing, my son and I, we needed to get out and enjoy the beautiful weather that we had today. It was in the 70s and it was so much welcome because it's been so chilly on this side. And I know in my hometown it's been snowing in DC, so I'm not complaining. I don't do well in cold weather at all. I am not a cold weather girl, so I don't do well. I need tropical weather. I need heat and hot. So I was loving the 70s. So come on in. Let me know that you can hear me and see me. I see one person is saying everything is all good with the sound and the sight. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So welcome everybody. I want this to be short because I'm tired. But it's very important that I get this message out. So I promised you all, now that I am back on American soil, that I would tell you what the atmosphere, what the energy in the atmosphere really is. Victoria L., welcome, sis. It's been a minute. Welcome. Peace and love, sis. I can hear you perfectly. Wonderful. That is so good. And I hope you're doing so well. It's so good to see you. Okay. So you guys, here it is. So we've been here for a good, we were on the Mexico side for a month. And then we came back on this side probably a good, just about 2 weeks ago. And now that we've been here, I just wanted to share with you all what I feel in the atmosphere here. Where I am, there are no mandates, so I'm really happy about that. And they never had any. Okay. However, I feel Virgo, peace and blessings right back at you. Welcome. So I feel good, sis. Wonderful. So I feel like it's the calm before the great storm. This is how I feel. There's a heaviness. There is a heaviness that I can feel in the atmosphere. Okay. This is the energy that I'm reading. And it has already started. The title is It's Happening. The NWO is here. Okay. One of the things that I was surprised about when I returned back, because before I left, when you have the ride shares or what have you, whatever ride share it is, your Ubers, your others, Bolt, whatever it is, you were able to pay in cash. So here I am with my cash and I'm ready to pay. And they're like, yeah, no, we no longer take cash. Everything is done via card. So if you don't have a card here, you're not, and you don't have your own vehicle. And I had a truck. and I end up giving it to my mother prior to us going to Alkebulan. So, if you don't have your own wheels and you're needing, to ride in the various ride shares and you don't have a card, credit, debit, whatever it is, then you won't be able to ride unless someone is putting it on theirs for you. Okay. Um, some may see this as something very minor. Some may see this as a safety precaution given the pandemic. However, it is not that. Okay. It's disguised as that, but it is not. Okay. This is the NWO at work. Okay. Um, so if you don't have a card, there's no ride share for you. Okay. Um, because they're not accepting cash anymore from anybody, from anybody. And I'm seeing a lot of businesses go this way. So if you think about it, beautiful ones, those who are still, working, in the matrix, that direct deposit is what it is. You have to have direct deposit in most places of employment, and it's been that way for quite some time. Now we have all these different companies saying we don't take cash. We have the ride shares here saying that they don't take cash. And pretty soon, all places, okay, or most places are going to be implementing this same thing. This gives them control. It gives them control. Okay. Um, I was reading some comments online about a bank. I wanted to open up a new account just briefly to while I was here, just briefly. Um, and because I had a lot of foreign currency that I've accumulated from the various lands that we've gone to. So I was like, okay, well, while we're here temporarily, let me see about just opening this up temporarily and then closing it once we depart. So I went and I opened up an account with this very prestigious bank. Everything went well. Okay, you're approved. Great. I went inside of the banking center to fund the account. Um, and everything went well, no problem. So I had the card expedited and I paid for the card to be expedited. So the next day I went to check on the card, the status of the card to see when it would be arriving. Um, and I couldn't find out any information. So I called in to the customer service. I got the runaround at customer service. And then a few moments later, I logged back into the account to see if there was any update, and I couldn't get in the account. So I called the center that I went to fund the account at, and the woman was like, "Oh, wow. Wow." And I was like, "Wow, what?" And she was like, "Oh, you're gonna have to call this number. I don't know what's going on with the account. It's not letting me into the account. Um, but call this number." So I called the number. It was saying that that center was closed. Very bizarre. So they've locked the account for some reason. I have no idea as to why. I literally had just opened that. Nobody can tell me anything and nobody knows anything. Customer service didn't know anything. There's this special number that I was supposed to call, but they're not open until Monday. So I'm like, okay, this is getting really bizarre. But the customer service agent was like, oh, well, the account is being closed. And I'm like, what? So I go online to see like what I can find because I am perplexed and I'm like, what the hell is going on here? And hundreds of other people are saying that they've had like a long-standing, like 25 plus year relationship with this particular banking institution. And a couple of them are like, we were out and we swiped our cards and it kept being declined and we knew we had money in there. And mind you all, I put money in there. Now I have no access to that money. None. Um, I even opened up a one for my son, just so that he can have his own. Um, they closed his too. Um, so I was reading the comments and they were like, yeah, we were like swiping the card. We knew we had money in the account. We didn't have any access to, getting the money out. It was being declined. The debit card was being declined. We kept trying to check the account, but we knew that we had a lot of money in here, but we couldn't check the account. Nothing. Same thing. They called people telling them they had to call a particular number. Okay, the banking center couldn't tell them anything. Only this one number. And so they were essentially saying that the bank had decided that they were going to discontinue their relationship with these people that they've had an account for many, many, many years. So I started to dig more and more into this, and I saw that a lot of financial institutions are now just cutting certain people off and saying that we just no longer want to continue a banking relationship with you. Not that they've been abusing their account or anything. Really bizarre behavior is going on, like really bizarre behavior with this debit card system. So if you know, over in China, and even in some lands here in the states, but really over in China, they have implemented this whole system of, it's like social banking. You know, if you are in good behavior, then you'll continue to have access to your funds. If you do what we tell you to do, you'll continue to have access to your funds. And that's the kind of like the same thing that I see going on here. You allow someone to open up an account, they put money in the account, and now who knows when I'm going to even get my money back. The other people were saying that it had been well over 30 days. They were trying to get their money back, and they have not seen the money that was in their account. Okay. So I say all of this to say that I see this as warning signs. Nothing happens for nothing. Leave these banks alone. Leave them alone. I feel like it's time for us to go back into like a bartering system, making sure that you are trading your fiat currency in for real money. Because I see that there is a time approaching where no one will have access to their funds. The bank is just going to be like, oh, your account is locked. um, and you're not going to be able to find the answers as to why you cannot access your account. This was a warning to me. Okay. Um, but I see that there is a calm. This is a calm kind of before the storm. As I went out today, as I do every day, and I'm observing the behavior of people, I'm reading the energy, and a lot of people are really, clueless. They're really going about their day. Um, getting their going shopping, they're in the Walmarts or what have you, and they're just, you know, going about their merry little day and way. I do know here, and by the way, I'm in Texas, okay, just so you guys know, but I do know here in Texas when they had that blackout. Now, I was in El Capitan when it happened, but when they had the blackout, I have family here. Okay, I have family in Texas. Um, I was hearing in real time, like no one was prepared. Like people really suffered during that power outage. Okay. And they were saying that even when they brought the grid back up, it would continue to come in inadvertently. Now, those of us that have had the experience of living on the continent, this is something that we have come and grown accustomed to, not having access to power all of the time. Now, those of us that were wise and that just could not put up with that, inconvenience, because it is a great inconvenience, and especially when you're living in the and it's hot in Al Capitan. So your air conditioning is going out. It gets you're trying to do work, you're trying to create. So you I know, like me, I went out and I got a generator. I just had to have a generator. But they're expensive. They really are. But this is the time that we're coming back to, where we have to stop being so pampered, and really prepare ourselves for the times to come. So I would say it is definitely time to leave the banking system alone, okay, and go back to a bartering system. There is something that you have that you don't use or need that someone else has and they can use and they need it. And then there's something that they have that you can use and they don't need it. This is the time I feel like we're coming back into. We have to prepare to go into a bartering system. The fiat currency is nothing but debt. It is nothing. You do better keeping your copper pennies, okay, your silver coins, and your gold coins. That's real money. And you cannot trust these banking institutions. They are doing bizarre things. Like, I literally read hundreds upon hundreds of people commenting and saying that the exact same thing happened to them and they weren't able to get any answers except, oh, we're just discontinuing our relationship with you. And when they asked why, they did not get an explanation. And they said that it was in the disclosures that, they give you at the beginning of the account opening. They said that they reserve the right to discontinue a relationship with you. And now these people, some of them still have not seen the money that was in their account. So I will definitely be speaking to them tomorrow, and I'll give you guys an update, because they're going to send me my money. Okay. um, but yeah, it's really, really, really bizarre. And I don't know if you guys have ever dealt with this. If you have, comment in the comment section. But to me, again, just knowing that everything has a purpose, everything, even the most minute thing, means something. Okay. I didn't take this very lightly. I really didn't. And seeing that everything is transitioning to a card, system, um, that's not okay. That's the NWO at work. Okay. It's at work. If you do something that the government deems inappropriate, okay, they can literally prohibit you from accessing your funds, which means you will no longer, if you were not smart enough, okay, to prepare and have all the things that you need, be self sufficient, if you did not trade your fiat currency in for real currency, that you're going to be asked out in these streets. Don't be asked out. Prepare yourself. So I just feel this heaviness, this heaviness in the atmosphere, like a switch is about to be hit. I really, really do. Um, some have said to me, listen, sis, I'm not going anywhere. This is my home and this is where I'm going to be. You don't have to try to escape the NWO by going somewhere else, because guess what? You can't. It's everywhere. As you can see, many of us were over in Al Capitan and we were having an Al Capitan beautiful time. And then here comes the NWO with the whole pandemic and the pandemic shenanigans and the testing and the muzzle wearing and all of that. It found its way onto the continent, and then the shutdowns and then the house arrest and all of it found its way to Al Capitan. It literally covered the face of the earth. So you cannot escape it. At this time, you will have to decide where it is that you want to be during this shift. Not one place is necessarily safer than the other. However, depending upon your particular situation, another land could be more beneficial to you than the next. I'll put it that way. But let me see what people are saying before I continue to let you know what it is that we all need to be doing and doing it now, like now. Um, Sage Phoenix, hi. Hello, welcome. Dinah as social credit score. Yes, yes, that's it. The social credit score. Thank you. Um, let's see. West Coast 19. I agree. We are very spoiled. Indeed. Did they get their money back? No. Um, a lot of the people were saying that they did not get their money back. A lot of the people were saying that they continued to call and inquire about where is the check that you were supposed to send when you closed my account. And they kept saying that it's in the mail. It's in the mail. And they never got it. And thank goodness for me, because honestly, I was preparing to put quite a significant amount. But then I said, no, I'm not going to do that. But I want my money and I'm going to get it. Did you hear me? I'm going to get my money and my son's money. Bizarre behavior. Okay? They have the control. If you think about it, most of you, if not all of you, have an account because you have to have it, because if you're still working in this matrix, you receive a direct deposit. If you're getting even let's say if you're ex-military, prior military, they direct deposit your funds for the most part. I remember maybe years ago when letters were being sent out and saying that you must enroll in direct deposit in order to receive your funds. Okay. But so just think about this. So that's the way that you receive your money, or your finances, whatever, your fiat currency. Okay. Um, and if today, right now, they decide that they don't want you to be able to access your money, what is it what can you do about it? Like, if right now today you tried to access your money and you couldn't access it, what can you do? What would you do? It's because you thought, oh, it would never happen. Well, it's happening. It's happening. Okay. So get your money out of these get your fiat currency converted into real money. Okay. And leave these financial institutions alone. Okay. And it is time that you all build micro communities. Okay. As a small collective, it could be large, however, small, medium, large. But I would say keep it small, in starting off, and build micro communities of like-minded and like-hearted people, and buy up land. Come together as a collective and build micro communities. Put your finances together and buy up land, and a significant amount. 10 people can get together and buy up, 10 acres of land or more. And then each person has their own part, and they have, their own privacy, and they can build upon that land, and you all can be a self-sustaining community, making sure that you are you're having the right people come together, people who really have things to offer. Okay, various minds coming together and exchanging intellectual property. Hey, someone may be a carpenter, this person may be a nurse, this person may be good at finances, this person may be a green thumb and can grow some food, this person is good at manual labor, I mean, that's you can really do this thing as a collective. And it's time for that. And especially if you are in the Americas. No, you don't have to leave. You can hunker down right in the Americas, but come together and build micro communities, self sustaining micro communities. Okay. If you have someone good at, security and protecting, you have to have that. They're just basics that you must have when you're building a community. Okay? You have to make sure you have water. You have to make sure that you have food. You have to make sure that you have waste management. You have to make sure that you have security. Those are the basics. Okay? So I think this is the time. This is the time. We are in really bizarre times because we are caught in the middle of a major shift. Okay. And things are going to get a lot rougher and tougher before they get better. And it's necessary, but we have to be prepared for it. So that's what I feel. So while I'm here and I'm taking in all of the beauty of this land, um, I'm always in prep mode. I'm always preparing. But lately, it's like I've been pregnant, like something has been pushing and pulling on me. Hunker, you better figure out where it is you want to hunker down and get it done, and get it done. But I would also say for me, it's much more feasible to be mobile, to have an RV, and just be able to like move around the various lands. That's just better for me. Just having a better another way just in case, some shit goes down and you have to leave your land, that you still have a home and you have a place. So for me, that's absolutely necessary, just having mobile real estate. It is a must. It is a must. So yeah, that's what I have, you guys. That's what I feel. Um, and so I do not want to give people a false sense of roses and flowers and gumdrops. Although yes, it's beautiful, the land is beautiful, and there are beautiful days, that we have here, and we still live and we still experience. However, we must not forget the times that we are in. Okay, so I'm not going to set you all up like that. Okay. Yeah, we had a beautiful day, but I still understand and overstand the times that we are in, and I'm not going to be caught slipping or sleeping. I'm not going to be caught slipping or sleeping. Okay, so I'm here doing and I'm here preparing. Okay. So I'm not gonna, make people think like coming back here is, excuse me, totally safe and secure. At this juncture, no place is safe and secure. At this juncture, no place is safe and secure. If you didn't hear me, I'll say it for the third time. At this juncture, no place is safe or secure. No place. Whether you're in Alkebulan, whether you are in Europe, or whether you are in the Americas, or wherever you are, no place is safe and secure. You always need to be on alert, and you need to be prepared. You need to be prepared. So that is the way that you can protect yourself, is leaning on each other and leaning on each other's strengths, because we all have them. So it's time for us to come together as a collective, again, forming these micro communities, okay, self sustaining micro communities. But I definitely think that it's very smart to invest in mobile real estate, okay? Make sure that you're packed up. A friend of mine is a chef in DC. Um, he's a very well known chef, and he posted a picture on his IG of how the grocery store looked in DC. So DC, like many other cities, inner cities, is they are food deserts. Okay, food deserts, and they are the most vulnerable population at this juncture, because if they cannot get to the grocery store, they will starve to death. Most of them have not prepared themselves. They have not a clue of how to farm. They have not, educated themselves on, plants that could sustain them, that they can grow right inside of their homes and apartments. They haven't done that. They're too complacent and they're too comfortable. He showed pictures of what the grocery store looked like in DC, and they were barren, you guys. I was in tears because my family is there. There was nothing, hardly anything. And they still think, oh, well, more groceries will come in next week. They think, oh, it'll just come in next week. They don't know that one day soon it won't be coming in at all anymore. That's the sad part. Mm. Oh, the trolls. Yeah, so yeah, you guys, that's what I feel here. It's just wherever you are. Again, being in El Capitan, I can say the advantage there is that you can acquire land at a reasonable rate. Um, Now, of course, you need to make sure that um, you are aware of the laws in the land in which you are acquiring that land, because some lands do not allow you to outright own land, um, as in Tanzania, unless you're in somewhere like Zanzibar. Okay. Um, but yeah, just be careful. I would never feel comfortable having my land in someone else's name. I would never feel comfortable acquiring land in a land that says that I cannot outright own it. Real estate is real money, you guys. And so when the shit hits the fan, do you really want your land in someone else's name, or do you really want to acquire land in a land that says you are not able to acquire land? And then people are going to start to want to, reclaim that land when the shit hits the fan. And you think that they might not say, oh, well, these people own land and they're not allowed to own land here, or I want my land back. I don't have time for the foolery. I don't. However, there are still some lands in Al Capitan that do allow you to acquire land in your name. And so, if you are there, take advantage of that and make sure that you get yourself a piece of real estate. Okay? Land appreciates. It is the most important thing that you can own. It really is. So if you are there, make sure that you are not just shooting the breeze. Okay? Make sure that you are acquiring land wherever you are. Acquire land. Wherever you are, acquire land. Okay? And I would say make sure that you invest in mobile real estate. Also very important. Very, very, very important. Um, Let me see. G, I've seen those grocery store vids too. The food shortages are crazy. Stay safe, sis. Thank you. Yes, they are. I had no idea until he posted that video. I was like, what? I literally I was in tears. I was concerned about my mother, who's very stubborn, very honoring. I was concerned. I have sisters, I have nieces, nephews, my great aunt, I cousins, my family is there, and I know they're not prepared. I know they're not prepared. I have one cousin who is absolutely prepared. He bought up land in the rural part of Maryland. He owns his own farm. So I have one who I know that I don't have to worry about. However, the rest of my family, they are not ready. They're not ready. They're still thinking that the matrix is going to continue on, and they're going to continue to be pampered and provided for. Most have no interest in, being like acquiring the knowledge so that they can sustain themselves. Most of them have no interest in that. And at this juncture, there's nothing I can do about it and nothing I want to do about it. Of course, I hope for the best, but I used to stress out about this, and I've stopped doing that a long time ago. People will do whatever it is they want to do. And all you can do is try to plant a seed and hope that it will grow, and hope that they will continue to water that seed for their own survival, for their own safety. That's always been my hope, because I've always been the different one. So I know a lot of times they probably get a talk about me, and it's like she, she's crazy or what have you. But I'm absolutely very sane. It's quite the contrary, actually. Um, but whenever things do, hit the fan, people do find my number and start asking questions. But, I'm crazy, right? But you asking me questions. So, there's nothing I can do about that, or nothing, I want to do about that. I just, right now I have to focus on making sure that me and mine are good. And this is why I come on this platform, because I truly do love and care for you all. And I want to see you all make it to the other side. I want to see you all do well. So, like I said, wherever you are, make sure that you're taking care of one another, making sure that you are making the best of the resources that you have. Make sure that you um, convert your fiat currency into real money. Make sure that you begin to barter with one another. I remember when I was in Ghana and I was staying with in an Airbnb. Um, this brother was saying that they were already starting to turn back to bartering. He was like, a friend of his bought like over an acre of land, and he acquired it by trading in the car that he had. So he gave the previous landowner his car because that person needed a vehicle, and then that person in turn gave him like over an acre of land. I was like, that's dope. That's how we should be moving forward. It really is how we should be moving forward. Um, Greetings from UK. Shortages aren't that bad here yet, but I know it's coming. Absolutely. Prepare wherever you are, even if it looks like, there is no struggle or anything wrong. Prepare. Always be prepared. Okay? That's wisdom. You can see how quickly the pandemic has affected, the entire world. You look how quickly it spread. Look how quickly things unfolded. And I'm sure each land, as they were watching the other lands go through, you know, um, the trials and tribulations, um, from the pandemic, they were probably like, "Oh my God, look what's going on there. That's crazy." And then that wave came right there to their doorstep, you know, and the people that were looking on at those people, you know, they were looking at them in awe and were like, "Oh, that's crazy." And then the wave came and it came to their doorstep. So we see how the pandemic has spread throughout the entire world. Okay. While each land looked upon the next, while thinking, "Oh, this is not going to happen here." And it did. So it's always wise to prepare. Always wise to prepare. Dinah asks, "It's hard because you see what's going on and no one listens." I know it's difficult, but you can't stress out about that. You really can't. All you can do is sound the alarm. You are not responsible for who is listening and being receptive to that alarm. All you can do is lead the people to the water. Lead them to the water. You cannot make them drink. No, you can't. You can't make them drink. All you can do is lead them there. That's it. That's, and you've done your job. If you've sounded the alarm, you've done your job. If you've led them to the water, you've done your job. You don't have to force feed anything to anyone. Okay? Everybody has the free will. So either they listen or they don't. There are consequences that they'll have to face. He or she that has an ear, let them hear. That's how it is. I'm stocking up, but getting the message to some family, but they're completely oblivious. They still think government is going to take care of them after everything that's happened since. The Kool-Aid is too sweet. It's too sweet. It is it has totally consumed their ability to, use their logic and reasoning. Okay? They have drank the Kool-Aid and they love it. So, right now, the only thing that you can do is focus on yourself. You and your family are the ones that are listening, the ones that do have an ear to hear. That's all you can do is focus your attention on them. It was never meant for, everyone to awaken. It, it that was never the prophecy. So you have to expect that there's going to be a large amount of people, including our family members, that just are not going to be receptive. Remember, in order for manifestation to work, there needs to be two opposites. Okay? So you all are the positive, they are the negative, the ones that don't want to listen. We need them too. We need them too. So that's how manifestation works, the balance of two opposites. So it was never meant for everyone to make it to the other side. It was never meant for everyone to awaken. It was never meant. That's just not the prophecy. Okay. And so we have to expect that. And then we have to accept that. And then we have to not allow that to prohibit us in doing what we need to do for ourselves and our family. Okay. Energy is everything. So make sure you're very careful about who you are exchanging energy with and what you are putting your energy towards. It's very, very important that you do not waste your good energy on people who are rejecting your help or who are rejecting wisdom, okay? Good counsel. There's nothing you can do for them. And maybe by you focusing on yourself and you are successful in creating a self-sustaining life and community, maybe by you doing that and them watching and seeing, maybe that will make them. Some people, it's all about seeing is believing. So some family members may not be listening right now because they see it as lip service. But once they see that you've successfully created this self-sustaining life for yourself and micro community, they then may want to come along once they see it done. You know how our people are. So you know what it is, fam. You know what it is. So that's what I see here. That's what I feel. I see that, was it the UK? Somebody over in England had a success. I think they got rid of some of the mandates for the vaccine. You're over there. Who said they were in the UK? Something happened recently. Gee, so you're over what happened? Was it in the UK or what happened with the mandates? There was like a victory somewhere. Um, Let me know exactly like what are the things that changed. I haven't had an opportunity to really read up on it, but I heard that they had gotten rid of some of the mandates. The people were pushing back, and there was some success there. So if you know, in the comments, please let me know exactly what it is that changed. Um, so yeah, yeah, you guys. I want to say this too about thinking that us going to other lands is going to somehow um, keep us from, you know, experiencing the adverse, um, e- just experiencing the negative impact, of this pandemic. And I think I just mentioned it earlier. And I just see a lot of people under that notion, you know, um, that they're running away somehow from, leaving America is going to somehow um, prohibit them or protect them from going through um, this pandemic, and all of the shenanigans and all of the, oppressive tactics. And it's not. And you should be able to see that by now. you know it is not. um Again, we all have a right to choose where it is we want to be during this time, but let's not be foolish. I, like I said, I was grateful to go to Al Capilon when I did, because truly, I mean, when people were over here suffering and having to wear their muzzle, and they were being placed on house arrest at the time where I went, and in the land in which I went. I mean, still till this day, that land, Tanzania, has not had to go under any lockdown, but it's not to say that it won't happen, and I hope it does not happen. But yeah, we just happened to go, my son and I, at the perfect time. And that was by divine guidance. Because if you have been following my journey, you would know that we intended on moving to Gambia. Okay. And we were only supposed to be in Tanzania for a short period of time. And then this pandemic came like a tidal wave. Okay. And we found ourselves, and I won't say stuck in Tanzania, but we just found ourselves comfortably, placed, in Tanzania. And it was a great time to be there. And we were protected at that time, but while we were there, we started to see that tidal wave come towards, and it may not have been to the magnitude of other lands like Rwanda and the others that went under, strict lockdowns. And I was so grateful. Um, but the tidal wave did come, and it's there, especially, under this new leadership. So let's just use wisdom, you guys, and let's open our eyes to see that this thing is everywhere. And so we have to prepare ourselves wherever we are, you know. Um so gee, thank you. So yes, they've decided not to bring in any mandates or passports. They're only doing it for health workers, but the health unions are taking the government to court to stop it. Look at that. And gee, that was done by the power and the persistence of the people. I saw them in the streets beating it up every single day, protesting and about these horrendous mandates, and they have succeeded. They have had, some success. Um and hopefully other lands will take note, like America. Take note of your power. Okay. That is wonderful. That is absolutely wonderful to see and hear. Yeah. A friend of mine was telling me, about that victory, and I said I was going to read up on it. So thank you so much for, giving some clarity on that. Again, I saw those people beating up the streets and the pavement. I saw them protesting, together as one against the oppression, against the forced mandates and the other NWO shenanigans, and to see that they have had success, to see that it wasn't in vain, is a beautiful thing. It is a beautiful thing. And may it stay, and may all the mandates be abolished, even for the health workers. And I honestly feel like they will be. Um, and so I definitely send some good energy towards those health workers who are taking them to court, and um, definitely send an assay towards their efforts of making sure that it is abolished. And assay means it is so. So wonderful. So that's all I have, beautiful ones. Like, that is what I have. Don't get caught slipping. Um, you know, just don't get caught slipping. Just don't, because things are about to turn up. It's definitely the calm before the storm. And remember, I said that. It definitely is. And so it is time to prepare. And those who of you who have family members and friends and associates, whatever, who are not listening, there is nothing you can do about that, and there isn't anything you should want to do about that. Everyone has free will, and it's necessary that we have the naysayers, and it's necessary that we have those 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 beings that are pushing against and who are non, who are just refusing, to accept the truth of what things really truly are. They're necessary too. Everybody has a part to play, but I don't want you to allow that to affect you in a negative way. Put your energy towards, what will help you make it through. Put your energy towards sustaining yourself and your family. Put your energy towards like minded and like hearted people like yourself. Okay. So look into it, you guys. Join together, make micro communities, micro self sustaining communities, and ride this thing out together. Okay? You're stronger together. Stronger together. Be very careful. This is not just picking in your body. Use wisdom and use discernment. Use wisdom and use discernment. So, the next time that I come on, I'm going to be dropping something heavy because this is Aquarius and this is the I know age of I know. And it is time for the truth to reign. And so I'm going to be dropping something really heavy about how we got into this predicament that we are in. I know I've done previous videos and have given some hints and some in-depth teachings, but the rabbit hole is so deep, you guys. It's so deep. And I'll decipher if I want to open it up to the public. I just may keep it private. There are just so many trolls and just so many people who still aren't ready. Okay. And just so you all know, this is not just a travel channel. It isn't. Um, it isn't. This is just me sharing my journey, my son's and my journey, but it's also me sharing my wisdom, the divine wisdom that has been bestowed upon me, okay, with you guys, with you all, okay. So it's a plethora of things. This is not just a travel channel, and I really don't. I would never considered it to be a travel channel. It was just me, really just opening up my life and kind of making this like a public diary of all of our journey and our experiences in the various lands that we have been so blessed to visit and experience. But in that, I also have a job to do here, and that is to restore balance and justice and allow the truth to be heard and to reign. That is why I am here this time around. And I'm going to continue to do my work. Okay. So this is not the channel for those who are religious and love it. This is not the channel for you. And I have no problem with someone who may be in disagreement with some of the things that I say, and you want to have a civilized discourse. That's fine. But when you are here, okay, first of all, under false pretenses, and when you are here, just to be disruptive and to be a troll and disrespectful, I have no time for you. I will put no energy into you and I will simply block you. Okay? So there's a difference. So I'll read the last bit of comments. Andrew, peace and love, sis. Peace and love right back at you. Right back at you. So I will keep this up for you guys. We will be moving on pretty soon. Like I said, I need to go and visit my family, so I'll do that. And then it's time, then it's time to build. And I'll decipher, how I want to share that and when I want to share that, once we get to exactly where it is, that we're going to finally just lay down roots. So, yeah, until next time, you all be good.